C, that is a career path planning. So when an individual enters into the job, after some particular period he basically loses his interest in the job itself, because they want some advancement, they want some innovation, and further if there is no innovation, there is no advancement, further they will get definitely frustrated, and that is quite a difficult stage to handle with. Okay, so HRD is concerned, is related to that organizational goals are to be achieved, but keeping one thing in mind, that the individual goals are also to be achieved. Okay, now related to that particular thing, the framework of the life stages is given by the Erik Erikson. Erik Erikson basically divided the life into 8 stages. 4 stages related to the childhood, and the other 4 stages related to the adulthood itself. Now adulthood 4 stages we are concerned about, because those are related to the career path planning, so we will be looking into those only. Now let us have a look at it, that how these stages are basically related to the one's life in the professional life itself. So first of stage, it is a adolescence. First stage, it's a adolescence. Now you can do compare the adolescence stage with that particular person who is entering into the job itself. Now when you just do enter into the job itself, you just want to make your ego identity. What does actually the term ego identity defines? Like, you want to be the person who others perceive you to be, and also you also have your individuality, so there is a reconciliation between these two factors, and you adjust as per that. That is basically related to the adolescence stage. That is the initial period when you just enter into the job itself, and further when you're settled up and you have spent 2 to 3 years over there, that is a stage that is related to the young adulthood, where you start developing relationships, where you have your own network with the individuals, with the group, with the occupation itself, and then you start contributing, over there. And the third stage, it is related to adulthood itself, now over there you not only manage your work, but also you do manage others, and you do pass your knowledge, you do pass your information to the others in that particular stage. That is the adulthood stage. And the fourth one stage, it is related to maturity, where you are basically look at the particular factor related to the ego integrity, by examining why that your life was useful or meaningful, yes or no. Okay, so these are the 4 stages framework that was given by the Erik Erikson related to the adulthood stages we have read about. And the second model over here that we will be learning related to, that is given by the Levinson. Now the Levinson and his colleagues offered explanation about the career transitions, and this is somewhat corresponding to the Erik Erikson's adulthood model. Okay, adulthood stages over there. Now let us have a look at it. First of all, it is apprentice. Now apprentice is person that is the very beginning of the career itself. So individual does the routine work. Over here, when you just joined the bank itself, it was not the case that you were able to do each and every task. You were to learn from your colleagues, you were to learn from your subordinates, and further also your superiors, from your mentors itself. That is a stage related to the apprentice itself. And the second stage, it is related to the colleague, when you're contributing yourself, when you're having an individuality in the occupation itself, and further you're contributing, but still you are being mentored, being supervised by your mentors itself. You are basically taking help of your subordinates, but individually you are also contributing. Okay, the third stage over here, that is related to the mentor. When you are being mentored, let us take the case that when you have reached a stage when you can do teach others, when you can do mentor other, you can do supervise other. That is a stage related with the mentor itself. That is related that you can do develop your individual ideas, you can do manage others. And the fourth one, it is related to sponsors. Now sponsor is having a broadened perspective. You just do not look at the task over there, but you have a long term, but you think for a long-term period, not for a short-term period, and you are in the top management over there. Okay, so that is related to the 4 stages model which was given by the Levinson over there. It is corresponding to the 4 stages of the adulthood framework which was given by the Erik Erikson. Now it is related to the career patterns over there. Now what is pattern actually? It's kind of movement that everyone follows. Now if we say the most common password over there, we can say it is 1234, or what is the most other password that will be your name, $123.4. Okay, so these are basically some of the patterns which are being followed, and these can also be traced in the professional life itself, those career patterns that we'll be learning about. Now over here, the driver listed these patterns as the career concepts. He basically listed these patterns as the career concepts. Now let's have a look at that what kind of particular career which are being followed. First of all, it is related to the linear career. It is related to linear career. What do you mean by linear career? That you being in one occupation itself, that you entered the bank as a clerical or as an officer, and you want to reach a higher rank, and you want to be on the higher position over there, higher hierarchy itself over there, and you worked hard for that. That is related to linear career, that you were a clerical before, but then you became officer scale 1, scale 2, scale 3, AGM, DGM, and all the scales over there. That is basically a linear career approach. That is basically a linear career approach. The second one, it is related to steady state career. It is related to steady state career. Steady state means we will be in a single career stage itself. We will be in the single career stage itself. Let me give an example that a person joined a bank over there as a clerical over there, and he's working hard, he's learning new skills, he's acquiring new skills, but he do not want to get promoted. He do not wish to get promoted over there. Okay, that is related to what? That is related to the steady state career. That is said to be the steady state career. So in this transition state, individuals shift from one job to another, not necessarily related to previous stage. Okay, so under the steady state career, you are being steady in one job itself, or it may be the case that you are changing from one job to another, but it may be the case that it is not related to the previous one, but you are not basically growing up, you are not basically moving up in the hierarchy itself. Okay, that is a steady state career. The third one, it is related to spiral career. It is related to the spiral career. So spiral career is somewhat related. We can say that you will go up, you will be learning, acquiring the new skills, and further you want to be on the top notch position. That is the spiral that you are following. Okay, so that is a spiral career itself. Okay, that is a spiral career. Further over there, Shane also gave the 3-dimension model. Let us have a look at it. So Shane also gave another comprehensive framework, that the 3-dimension movement, and that is a 3-dimension movement. So let me draw 3D disk over here so that I can make you understand. So this is a 3D disk. If you can understand that it's a 3D disk over here, and over there one career is a vertical career. Vertical career, you can relate it with the linear career, where you will be in a single profession and you want to go up in higher hierarchy. That is related to the vertical career. Vertical, that is movement along with the hierarchy. Previously you were scale 1, now scale 2, scale 3, scale 4. That is actually the hierarchy that you are following. The second one, it is related to circumferential. It is related to circumferential, that is along with the different divisions and functions. Along with the different divisions and functions that previously you were working in account department, now in credit department, then in HRM department, then in PRD. Okay, so basically acquiring the new skills, you are acquiring the new skills, but you do not go up in the hierarchy itself. That is somewhat related to the steady state career. And the third one, it is related to radial career. Then it is related to radial dimension. Now what is radial dimension? Where you want to acquire the new skills related to the different departments over there, and further you want to be in the top notch hierarchy also. That is basically related to the radial career. That is related to the radial dimension, and this was the 3-dimension model, which was a framework which was given by the Shane. After that, it is related to the career anchors. Now career anchor, it actually refers to personal science of type of work. It actually refers to personal science. Personal science means it is basically associated with the individual person itself, that what type of work I want to pursue. If being an individual, it's up to me now, that what type of work I want to pursue and what career for me is basically meaningful to me. Okay, so what career is meaningful to me? So if it will not be meaningful to me, definitely I will pursue some other career, because I will not be interested in that particular career now. So ultimately I'll get frustrated and I'll be following the another career that is related to what? That is related to the career anchor itself. So Shane's concept of career anchor provides explanation that why individuals try to follow a particular pattern over there. So Shane basically provided the 3-dimensional pattern over there related to the career patterns, and further he also gave the explanation that why the individuals do follow these patterns. Okay, so this is having the 3 components. Let us have a look at it. First of all, it is related to the self-perception. So it is related to self-perception. Perception related to my individual talents and abilities. So based upon one's performance, so what I actually think about, what ability do I have, what talents do I possess, and based upon that I'll be thinking that what career I should be going for and what I should not be. That is a self perception. And the second one, it is related to self perceived motives and needs. It could be related to everyone do have their own life goals na, that I want to be rich, I want to acquire some particular assets over there. In that case I'll be having some motives, I'll be having some needs based upon the diagnosis of that, and based upon the feedback given by the others itself, I can do follow some particular career. And the third element associated with it, it is related to the self perceived attitudes and values. So when you work at a workplace over there, every organization do have their norms, they do have their values, and further based upon those interactions, based upon interactions with those rule books and norms over there, you may develop a attitude related to it. And further, it is also one of the component related to that, you may follow some career pattern. Okay, so there are three components. What are these three components? First of all, it is self perception, and second one, self perceived motives and needs. The third one, it is related to self perceived attitudes and values. Okay,